Hey, Lucky here. So we just got a hotfix that should be making the chest spawn in more spots and more often. So that's nice. Because a lot of people were missing the rewards from the event. And in case you think I was just playing on that servers, remember that I have many characters, and I also struggled. You can see here I managed to grab it on the last 5 minutes of the hour. I spent the entire hour there as well as spamming the chess. So this should be nice, but I want to cover some details here in case not that nothing changes, but the problem persists, because I imagine the problem will persist even with this increase. There's just too many players for too many chess, but we will see. In case this persists, and in case you don't want to spend like 30 minutes to 1 hour there, I'm gonna give you some tips. The first tip is just be there when the event starts and try to tag 50 monsters at the fastest that you can, because the fastest that you can do that, the lower amount of players is gonna be there. So you can see on this clip here on this video, I started here, I managed to tag 50 really quick. I just went to the first spawn of the chest and managed to get a chest really early. So that was like really nice. And the other thing that I can recommend is if you're waiting for the chest and you are surrounded by players, which is the norm, and you don't want to use a macro, which is what everyone is using right now, just a macro spamming the F key. You can actually rebind your F key. So that's what I did. You go to your settings, you go to shortcuts, you go to interaction, and I rebind it to my mouse wheel down or up, whatever you prefer. If you're on the controller, I also suggest rebind it to something that you can spam and it's not going to hurt your fingers, because the F key after 1 hour really starts hurting, which sounds weird, but it is very annoying. So on the mouse wheel, it's much more relaxed, and your odds of getting it is actually much higher. You can see that I use the mouse wheel here on the one that I spent the 1 hour and got on the last rotation. So that's one of the tips that I'll give. Change your settings, shortcuts, and then change back later. But I want to cover one thing, and is the idea of the event. If you try to look at it, we only have it twice per day, and I wish there was more windows for that, so more players could join the event, because right now everything is very, very like crumbed up on the prime time, to the point that the event happens during the same time that the boomstones, riftstones, inter riftstones, and inter boomstones happen. So that's a big mess. That's a big mess, and I wish they actually split the time more so other people could join. And in case you're worried about the market, the value of the loot, you gotta remember that with this change that they did, everyone basically, or at least most people, will be able to get the chest twice per day. The only reason why the prices already went down drastically, and the only reason why they didn't went down even more was because not everyone was being able to get the chest, was getting limited for like 500 people per event, so 1000 items. And now if everyone's gonna be able to get the chest, that's for sure gonna at least like quadruple to do 5 times it. So it should be like 2.5 thousand people should be able to get the chest. So the items are gonna go down in price ridiculously regardless. The thing that you gotta, since the price is gonna go down regardless, I wish they actually had taken more care into making the event enjoyable, because even if you can open the chest, it's free loot, it's easy loot, that's great. But have you ever thought about the content behind it? You literally go into the dungeon, you tag 50 mobs, and you open a chest, or try to open a chest for 1 hour. That's the whole event. And if you're doing the PvP, it's not that much better. You'll go to the place, after a certain time, it's gonna spawn one boss. You kill that one boss, gonna drop one piece of loot, and then after another 20 minutes, 20-25, it's gonna spawn two bosses. And you kill those two bosses, you get two pieces of loot. That's the whole event. And that's honestly terrible. Like, the idea behind making the dungeons, the episode dungeons, an event area and have things there is interesting. It's fun. I think could have done in way better ways. And I want to talk a little bit about it. I think for the PvE part, it's fine. The tagging, you'll make it very casual, you make it very accessible for everyone. New players can partake into it, and it's fun. It's fine. They get gear, and that's good for gear progression. Having more gear on the market for new players or fresh players to actually be able to catch up. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Uh, but I wish you had done more. You have 50 minutes, you have almost 1 hour of this event. You could have made the mobs more interesting, like maybe killing the mobs give a different type of material that you can use to craft something, craft gear, I don't know, just anything interesting. You could have done that, maybe special mobs spawn from time to time, or the mobs have a small chance of dropping the loot, because it doesn't matter, the loot's gonna get flooded on the market regardless. So at least make players want to play the event, interact on the event, hunt mobs, make it interesting for the person to spend 1 hour in the game, value your time, you know, make them, oh, I'm gonna kill those mobs to get extra loot or anything interesting. And for the PvP aspect, make it more rewarding, not for the top tier guild, but for everyone. So you make, right now it spawns 3 bosses in 1 hour, and these bosses give 1 piece of loot, which is tradable at least, but it's really bad. Like, even if guilds are gonna fight for this boss, it's kind of lame because the boss is very squishy in first place, and in second place, it's like the design behind it, it's so clunky. Why don't you make it instead like, okay, so we're gonna have 1 piece zone, right, with everything that he said, but why don't you make them more zones, PvP, other than just one? And instead of having just 3 bosses, why don't you put a bunch of bosses that spawn randomly in those dungeons? Actually spawn, and not just 3. This way you force, okay, so the top alliance is going to this place, the other guild is gonna go to this place, this other guild is gonna go to this place, to spread the player base so the top alliance don't gobble the 3 bosses and that's it. They have only the 3 bosses, no one gets anything else. Since the value, like the items are gonna be flooding the market regardless, why care about balancing the market? You already, by doing this system, allow the market to be like flooded with items. At least then make it fun for people to try to get those items. Allow other guilds to go and actually try to compete for those items. For example, if the top guild wants to control one place, fine, that's their place. Anyone can feel free to contest, but give other places so other guilds can fight for it and have some loot. You know, I already said multiple times, the reason why PvP is dying, the reason why this game is dying, is not just because of boredom of daily tasks, it's not just because of lack of balance, it's lack of rewarding the time span of things. With that, I mean, the guy is gonna go do something, and you sometimes it's just not gonna be worth anything. This is the case in PvP for the most part. If you're on the top guild, great, you're gonna get rewards, you're gonna get loot, arc bosses, whatever it is, right? But if you're on the secondary guild, if you're on the third guild, on the fourth guild that is losing, you're organizing your group, you're organizing 70 people, with sometimes 140 people, right? Or trying to push it there just to die over and over and over without getting anything. So you're spending your time to give content overall, if you think about it, to the game, to the top guild, in yourself in a way, but of course you're dying most of the times if you're finding top guild. And in exchange, you're not only get nothing, but you're wasting your time. So it's really bad. Like, the event design is really bad. Just make other guilds have something to do. Make other guilds start doing some PvP, learning some PvP. You know, make it interesting for everyone, not just the top guild. The top guild already has everything. They don't need more stuff. Make content for other guilds to play into and get rewarded for playing into. Make like the secondary, the third guild, I already said that, give placements, find a way to reward your time for trying to do PvP. Even if they are losing, if they are getting second, third, fourth place in, let's say, a competition, make their time worth it. Make they want to play. Make the PvP have a reason behind it. If just the top guild gets everything, the game is bland. Like, there's no catch up for the secondary guild, secondary alliance. There's no reason for them to put effort to try to beat the first guild, because in this game, it's much, much harder, like a billion times harder to beat the dominant guild than like to just give up and join them. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, trying to make a revolution is, there's a reason why in the 1 year that we have played, if you look the siege history on almost every server, the odds of a guild losing to a inside guild is so low compared. The only times castle changes most of the times is because one guild transferred that was stronger and beat that other guild. It's never because that guild that was there started to make a revolution, grow up their group, make alliance political and beat them. This doesn't happen. There's no reward for you trying to put your ass on effort to turn the game around, to win against the dominant guild. So at least give the second, the third alliance, the fourth alliance a reason to try to play to get some rewards. Give them the window to get these rewards. But yeah, that's just a rant about the game, and I think it's one of the reasons why it's dying. Is why are you playing PvP if you're not the dominant guild? There's no reason. Unless you actually have a chance of winning versus them, there's no reason. So make a reason. That's it. Thank you for watching. See ya.